Hi, welcome to the buttons assignment. Now, one of the things I want to point out is the fact that we will be saving this out in Canvas later on because a movie clip or an animated GIF will not have the interactivity that we require for the button to do its thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, click on a rectangle. I don't like that color, so let's get me something a little orangey. And I am going to create a rectangle. I made the stroke size a little bit bigger than normal but still it's fine. I'm going to select that and I'm going to go modify, convert to symbol, but this time I'm going to have button and I'm going to call it an orange butt. Well, just like before, we're going to have different timelines, but this one's a more structured timeline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on it, and you notice it has different states. Well, this is the state that the mouse will be. So it will be either over or clicking down, or I'm going to identify the hit state. But for right now, we're not going to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on here and hit over, and I'm going to hit F6. And I got to have the F6 for something to happen inside that. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click outside and then I'm going to click back inside so that I can have the fill color. I could have just clicked on the fill, but that's just kind of the way I've been doing things. And I'm going to click on blue and then click on F6 for the down state, and I'm going to change my color again. I'm going to click outside, click inside, click on the fill, and I'm going to be green with envy. So, and I'm going to call this butt layer. And let's go. Well, once again, it's one of those situations where I can click on play, nothing's going to happen there, but when I go control test, now I have a mouse over, and then when I click, I get a change in color. So mouse over, select. So that's one thing I can do. Now I'm going to add another button, so I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to call this RB. And this one I'm going to call CB. And once again, we're going to do that. Only this time, I'm going to start off with an oval. If I want to change the fill color, I could go something like blue, but I don't have it selected, so I got to... Yeah, I kind of like green. I'm just going to leave it. Once again, select it, modify, convert to symbol, make sure it's button, and I'm going to call it circle, butt. Now, instead of... Oh, notice how that grays out. So that's how I know I'm on the button state. So I've got right here, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on F6. And for an over state, I'm going to do a rectangle. I'm going to keep it the same color. Of course, I got a different fill. Okay, let's go there. And let's select. There we go. There we go. So I'm just using the sample tool so I can keep it the same. And now down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another F6. But I'm going to do something just slightly different. I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger, or I can add a little coolness and have it rotate. So what I'm going to do there is now we're going to jump back. Let's click on play, still nothing, can't see anything. But when we do control test. So you can use color or you can use shape. Now you notice that I haven't really played with the hit state just yet. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to use the Polystar tool. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, let's get rid of that. Instead of a polygon, I'm going to go star. I'm going to play with yellow. And that's going to be my star. And you know, notice that I didn't change the layers. You can put a series of buttons on the same layer and it doesn't really matter. Now I've got it selected. I'm going to go modify, convert to symbol, or I could have just done F8. Come back in here again, double click, go to F6 right there. And I am going to make it smaller. Holding down the shift key, and we're going to make it like that. I'm also going to rotate it a little bit. There we go. Now down, I'm going to go another F6. Make it a little bit bigger, but rotate it again. Now notice I don't have a hit state. Like I said before, I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to test. But notice, watch where my mouse pointer turns into a finger. That's the hit state that's been identified. It's the last one I set up. Well, notice I have, ooh, that's the hit state. That's the hit state. So if my last, let's stop that. If my last is not the hit state that's the original, if it's the last one, what I can do is I can come in here and hit another F6, and it doesn't matter what I choose. So I could do a rectangle and I can go wee like that. Because all I'm doing is I'm identifying what is the hot spot on the button. So now watch what happens. I'm going to do a control test movie. I don't even have to be, I'm closer. So if I don't want the last, let's go back in here. If I don't want this to be the hit state, I have to add something in here. So if I wanted like only a small portion of that, I could do it that way. Now, I can add all sorts of things to it. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come over my over, and I am just going to be hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my assets. I'm going to grab my flame, and it works with movie clips. And well, that movie clip's way too big. So I'm going to come over here and make it a little bit smaller. There we go. So now, since I've got it up here on this timeline, my flame's going to stick around even though it's a down. If I don't want it to stick around on the down state, like right there, that's kind of don't like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go modify. Nope, I want to do it this way. Where's my app? Clear keyframe. There we go. Oh, I didn't have it on there. Let's do Control Z. Oh, I know what I meant to do. Insert timeline blank keyframe. I knew I was forgetting something. So now I have the overstate that's on fire, the downstate that's not. So let's go back here and let's test. Whee! Pretty cool. Now another thing we can do is we can go File, Import, Import to Stage. I'm going to try this. I haven't tried this before. I'm going to import both Snoopy and Woodstock. So I both imported them. I'm going to do Control X. Well, nothing is stopping me from converting that image to a symbol. I can call it Snoop. And then just like before, double clicking on it, I can do an F6. And I'm going to make him a little smaller. F6 right there. Well, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to hit delete, and then I'm going to do edit, paste in place. Now, I can't see if I align that right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right there, and I'm going to onion skin it. And then that way I can see how I aligned it. By having the onion skin, it will show all the layers at one time. I can hold down my shift key and make him about that size. But now I got a problem. I want to go right there. Well, I'm going to come back here and do a Control C, come back there, hit F6. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a rectangle to make sure that I have the same. Come on. Hit state that I had before. So this is the up, this is the over, this is the down, but this is the hit state because I don't want this to be the hit state. Although, you know, because of the white, it might not be too bad. But I wouldn't want to take a chance of it. So I've got my good, I got plenty of that. There goes Woodstock. Now, you noticed I could change sizes. There's something else you can do too. Let's say I want this button to give me some feedback. So I'm going to add another layer. And I'm going to hit F6. And I'm going to add some text. I'm going to make my text a lot bigger than that, that's for sure. I hate Times New Roman. Let's go with some Arial. 32. Okay. Oh, and before I forget, I want to embed this so that way, you know, every browser out there should have, or every computer out there should have Arial, but it never hurts to be safe, especially if you're using some kind of esoteric font. So what I'm going to say is, come on, where's my, how did I get there? I want text. Come on, let's get the color right. Come back to me. Cool. Nice. Try. But that is the wrong answer. So if you were ever to make like a training video or training, not video, but training website or training animation, here's what would happen is if you had it here, oh yeah, fire, that's the right answer. Nope. So you give them feedback. And one of the things I normally do is I normally put text in here, but well, why don't I do that now? Let's go. Ooh, got an extra layer there that nothing's in there, so I'm going to trash that. Come in here, I'm going to add a little text. I love Star Wars. I do, but just for grins. Let's paragraph that. Let's align it in center. So I got I love Star Wars on my button. Actually, it's the right answer, so I should, oh, correct, you did it right. I also love Star Trek, anything there. But what I wanted you to get is there are several ways to get buttons. And now what we'll do when we play with ActionScript is we'll name our buttons and then we will attach an ActionScript which will allow us to jump around. And we've got to be real careful that we save it as canvas because otherwise it won't work. So thank you, and hopefully you got something out of the buttons.